Hey there, quilting friends, it's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber, and today we're going to do some much needed maintenance on my Baby Lock Jubilant. I don't know what I'm gonna see when I get inside this machine. I haven't opened it up yet, but we're gonna open it up together. We're gonna take a look inside and we're going to clean out this machine together so that you can get an idea of how to clean your machine. We're gonna go through some of the basic tools that I have for cleaning my machine. It really doesn't require a lot. And yeah, we'll see how dirty it is inside here. You ready? Let's get started. I'm going to put on my reading glasses so I can see this all a little better. And as we get started here, I just want to point out I'm wearing my Bobbin Chicken hoodie today. I love this. I have a link down below if you want to order your own little Bobbin Chicken hoodie or the Bobbin Chicken stickers. I'm starting with, this is a little screwdriver. I just got it off of Amazon and I'm unscrewing, very first step, turn off the machine and go ahead and unplug it as well, just to be safe. And that is the foot pedal, not the power cord. There we go. That's the power cord. So just to be safe, we do want to unplug the machine and work in a well-lit area as we go ahead and unscrew these screws. And usually you just need to get them unscrewed a little bit. There we go. And then you can unscrew the rest of the way just with your fingers. That just the very last bit of tightening or the first bit of untightening is what you need. And then I have my felt mat over here, my wool mat, and I can go ahead and put all my screws and everything on here, and they shouldn't roll away. You could use a dish towel or cloth. That would be another option. Okay, pull the front off here. And now I should be able to lift this out. There we go. And, I mean, it's not as bad as I expected. I actually thought it would be a little worse than this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and remove my presser foot just to have it out of the way. And this is the same screwdriver. I've got a link down below for where you can get this little sewing machine screwdriver on Amazon. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove my needle because I'm gonna be replacing this as well. So I've got everything out of the way, making it really easy for me to access the machine. Now I have a piece of just scrap cardboard here, and I'm going to tape my needle to the cardboard so that I can throw it away. That way, if later I'm trying to push everything down in my garbage, I won't stab myself with one of these needles, which is super painful. So I just use a piece of packing tape and tape the needle to the cardboard, which should hopefully keep me safer from stabbing myself with this needle at some point in the future. Okay. Gonna remove my bobbin and all the pieces. Oh yeah, it is pretty bad down here. So my first thing that I do is I take a big brush. This is a fluffy brush that's only ever been used on cleaning sewing machines. This one is a paintbrush. I have another one that's fabulous that I use often that is, I bought it in the makeup brush section. So you just want a big fluffy brush and we want to carefully just lift off all the lint. We want to make sure that we're not pushing it any deeper inside. We just want to kind of tap at all the parts and just have the lint attracted to this fluffy brush like a magnet. Okay, so you can see I'm getting quite a lint pile here. I've definitely had worse, but as this lint builds up, it means that all the pieces in your sewing machine aren't working as smoothly because the lint's all in the way. Now you can use the handle on your machine to turn and see if there's any lint anywhere else in here that needs to be cleaned out. Now I have these brushes. I sell these in my shop, so I'll link to these. They are so handy. And you can just go in with these little brushes and they have it's like the teeniest, tiniest little Q-tip you've ever seen. or cotton swab, cotton tip. You can see that one's already pretty dirty. They're really inexpensive, and I usually use maybe 2 or 3 when cleaning out my machine. And I just go into all the parts to, just like I did before, but this is going to really get into all the different corners and nooks and crannies even better. You can pull the lint off and then use it again. So now you've probably heard people say to never ever use canned air on your sewing machines. And that's because canned air, if you put the canned air like this, you'll push all of that lint further into the sewing machine, and there are gears and whatnot on the rest of your sewing machine. You should be taking your machine in every year or so, depending on how much you use your machine, for some extra maintenance. They do a full clean oil and adjust, and they check everything on your machine, and you should have that done about every year or so. They get much deeper into the machine than we're getting here because they're techs who've been trained on how not to break the machine. You see what I'm doing here? There we go. So a tech will be able to do a full clean oil and adjust and get into all those nooks and crannies. And if you use canned air on your machine every time you clean it like this, which will be every couple projects, then they'll find a lot of lint built up, and you'll actually have to take your machine in sooner. But with a baby lock machine, I'd actually take this part off right here, which is pretty magical. Let me move this out of the way. And I can actually take my forced air, my canned air, and I can blow everything out this direction. So I'm not blowing it further into the machine. And so I just give it some squirts of canned air there, and that gets those last little bits out. I did get the bulk of it out with my brushes, and then that just cleans out the last little bits. So it looks gorgeous. And now I can start putting it all back together. So I'm going to start with this part that I took off last. And this bobbin case right here, I could do this with a brush, or I could very carefully give it a quick squirt with my canned air and set that back in. Now I can clean this off, same thing. And I can put this back. Now, if you didn't know about being able to use canned air on a baby lock machine because of being able to open up the side, which I owned my baby lock for, I think, almost 2 years before I knew about that. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up on this video. Go ahead and give this video a like. And if you have a second, also go ahead and subscribe, because I don't just teach you how to clean your sewing machines, I teach you how to do different projects with them as well. So you definitely want to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We're just going to, with my fingers, tighten this. And then I'm going to tighten it the rest of the way with the screwdriver. And a little screwdriver like this is great because it gets right in underneath. There we go. So I didn't put my bobbin in. I'm going to go ahead and wind a fresh bobbin for my next project. So let me grab my thread. And an easy way to wind a bobbin is to thread this thread through the hole. I need to plug my machine back in because I did unplug it. And now I've put it together so it's safe to plug it all back in. And now with my little clips, I can clip that thread and keep winding that bobbin. While that's winding, do a quick clean of my presser foot. So that's all wound. I'm going to put the presser foot back on. And tighten this with a screwdriver. There we go. I can open up my bobbin housing and put in the clean, or the full fresh bobbin. There we go. I would thread my needle, but I don't have a new needle in there yet, so that's next. I'm going to put in some sharps, which are great for machine piecing. So these are just some sharps. And the flat end always goes to, or the flat side always goes to the back. And tighten that up. Now I can rethread my machine. I need to, there we go, have this all the way up. My machine is threaded. I can put, oh, there we go. I can put my little screwdriver in here so I have it for next time. And I can also put my spare needles in here so I have those for next time. And then tuck this away. And now all that's left is I want to put some diagonal seam tape on here, so I have that ready for my next project as well. So I'll just take the diagonal seam tape and I will line it up. I put my presser foot down, but when I put my needle down, I see I didn't line it up quite right. So let me grab that end. Presser foot down closer, but still not happy with where that placement is. There we go. And then I have to lift this back portion off, and then I can use my little scissors to trim it because I can't cover up my feed dogs with the diagonal seam tape. There we go. But there, my diagonal seam tape is all in place and ready for my next project. And that's it. This is going to fix any tension issues that I had because I was having some tension issues. My machine should sound smoother. It'll work so much nicer now that it's had a good clean. If you don't have a baby lock machine, you may also need to oil your machine, and you'll want to check your machine manual to see where those drops of oil go. This is a baby lock machine, so it actually doesn't even need to be oiled. It just needed a cleaning and a fresh needle, and it's going to sew like the day I bought it. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching along with me. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I have lots more fun sewing content, so make sure you're subscribed so you get the news every time I have a new video up. Friends, that's it for today, but I will see you right here real soon. Bye for now.